I should be like you, Mel.
Ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
Good morning, Cherries fans, and welcome back to Cherry AM. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the show. Great to have you all with us. There's quite a few in the chat already. There's 15 people plus watching, 18 now. So, guys, just firstly, before we get started, just to ask for a bit of your participation, please give us a like. It means the world to us all at the channel. So if you're watching and you're able to, please smash those likes at the bottom. That would be great. Here's my guest with me, as always. Of course, wouldn't be Friday without Paul from Oz.
Thank you, Matt. How am I? You were going to say, how am I?
Yes. How are you as well? Yes, definitely.
I'm a mind reader, Matt. I knew that. I've had a really busy day today, mate, with the things that are going on here. But I was just thinking earlier about The Show Must Go On. You know, one of our great singers of all time, mate, Freddie Mercury and Queen, sang the song The Show Must Go On. And I was looking at that and I thought, I wonder where that saying originated from. And it was from the circus in America in the 1860s. And they guaranteed to the public that the show would go on no matter what the weather, rain, thunder and lightning, wind, anything. And I thought, yep, got to do it, mate. We've got to do it. But always a pleasure to come on and see you guys. Got a bit to talk about too today, Maddie. But yeah.
Yeah, we definitely have. And before we come to the chat, we'll just give a quick rundown on what we're going to discuss. So Paul's going to give his opinion on the up-and-coming Newcastle game. Paul's done a little bit of research and got some bits he wants to share with us, what he finds interesting about the Elphick and Shaun Cooper partnership within the management team. Obviously, Semenyo has won Goal of the Month with the club and Player of the Month with the club as well. Unfortunately, it looked like he was didn't win the official Premier League ones, but he's won the ones with the club, which is excellent. And of course, today is going to be Paul's last show for about 5 weeks, as Paul is going to be going on a little adventure, which we'll touch on that towards the end of the show. That'll be our last little segment on today's show. Paul will tell us a little bit about his up-and-coming adventure. But until then, we'll jump straight into the comments. We'll see who is in there at the minute. Thank you to everybody. So far, we've got 19 likes already. So thanks to everybody that's smashed the likes, that's come into the chat and watching. So thank you, guys. That's excellent. Okay, right. Let's start at the top. So, yeah, Nick. Hope you're well, Nick. Cherries fans, if you see Paul at the Fulham game, buy him a pint. He's travelled over 10,000 miles to be there. Yep. So we'll touch a little bit more on that at the end of the show. But yet, Paul will be attending one of the games. So, which is great to see. Chris Hubble, great to have you with us as always. I hope you're well, buddy. And up the cherries indeed. Morning, Matt. Afternoon, Paul. So, afternoon to you, David. Hello, everyone. 22 degrees and sunshine up the cherries. Sounds lovely. Vanessa's in the chat.
Oh, that's
Paul's niece.
cool. Yeah.
And Malcolm. Good morning, Matt and Paul and everyone in the chat. Yeah, good morning to you, Malcolm. Obviously, Malcolm, big part of Cherry AM, so it's always great to see him in the chat when he's not on the show. Stay tuned to the channel because this week's cherry picking will be out just after 9 a.m. And Malcolm joins me and Craig on that this week. So, yeah. Great to see you, Malcolm, as always. David, a point. Paul, we need a chair.
Thanks, Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah. Gotta love the banter. Darren Hurst, hope you're well. Morning to all in the chat. 3 p.m. and 21 degrees, and a beautiful sunny spring afternoon here in Perth.
I hope he's working hard, Matt. This bloke.
I'm sure he is. I hope he doesn't have any last-minute meetings that's going to pull him off. Cherry fix.
Yeah. He's got a good surname, hasn't he? Hurst, the World Cup winner. But
yes,
Hurst, but
just like Sir Jeff.
That's correct. I think he's still alive, isn't he? Jeff Hurst is still alive.
Jeff Hurst is the last one from the '66 squad, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah.
Wow. David, Darren Warmer in Right, I've got to say this right before Nick corrects me. It's Melbourne.
Okay.
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
Not Melbourne. Melbourne. There we go, Nick. If you're still watching.
Right. You know what, Matt? I've also had Geordie friends over here that pronounce Bournemouth. They say Bournemouth. Geordies.
Yeah.
I've had one over here. Yeah, they can't say Bournemouth.
No.
I don't know why. But,
and I know some that say Bournemouth, which I think is the proper way of saying it. But hey ho.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Darren, Toonami will hopefully be fatigued somewhat after the loss to Barca last night. Yes, I did catch that game. And yeah, two good goals from Rashford. His second goal was a fantastic finish. So yeah, let's hope that does have a little bit of an impact on them this coming weekend. But obviously it might have the opposite effect, and they want to get back to winning ways, so it might make the game even tougher. Who knows? But we'll be discussing Newcastle very, very shortly. Julie's in the chat.
That's my other niece.
Yeah.
Hi, Julie.
Paul's with us. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining us as always. Good morning, Matt and Paul and everyone. Good morning to you, Paul, as well. So thank you for joining us. And Darren, he was my distant Uncle Jeff. I wish. Okay, cool. Let's get going then. So thanks to everybody in the chat. Keep your comments coming. Myself and Paul will discuss whatever you pop in there. We're going to move on to Newcastle. Obviously, as always, I've done the Dean Court Social with Craig, which came out last night, just after 10 p.m. So for my views on the games, my score prediction, things like that, do check that out. But I'm now going to hand over to Paul, who's going to give his opinion on the game, his score predictions, and anything else. So, Paul, over to you for Newcastle.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's funny, isn't it? We do these, we make these teams up who we think will play, and then we find out somebody's mysteriously injured or something, and it throws everything out the window, doesn't it? But I think, you look at that team, a lot of it picks itself. I think obviously Petrovic will start in goal, and I do agree this week after the Brighton game, I'm pretty sure Jimenez will start and make his proper debut on Sunday. Yeah, and I think the back four, I think he'll stick with Milo, Senesi and Traffeur. Midfield, this is my opinion. I think on my research, I realised that there is a strong midfield for Newcastle, and I think he'll combat that with a really strong midfield. And I think he'll start with Adams and Cook in midfield, and Scott in the middle, being a playmaker. And I do believe, obviously, at some point, we're going to get Justin Kluivert come on for sure for Scott, maybe after now. He'll come on without a doubt. And the front three, as I said before, I think they more or less pick themselves, don't they? Brooksy, Evanilson and Semenyo up front. And what a bench, what a bench we've got, so strong. I think my prediction, I think we're going to win 2-0. I think they should be worrying about us. I think teams need to start thinking about us now, because I did say on Wednesday, and I don't very often get stuff right, but I did say I thought Newcastle would lose that against Barcelona, and they lost it. So I got that right, but I hope I get this one right. I'd much rather get this one right. But something I found a bit interesting with Eddie coming back was that I noticed in 3 of their previous 4 games, from the kickoff, this is really weird, from the kickoff, they don't pass to their own player. They've been kicking it out as far up the pitch into, like, say if they had kickoff into Bournemouth's half, as near to the corner flag, to try to regain possession up the front of the pitch. Now that'll be interesting to see if Eddie employs that tactic. I didn't know anything about that. I just read that. I think it was on the BBC website that this is what they've been doing in 3 of their 4 games. So another couple of things I found interesting with the great debut of Milo, with Petrovic, the keeper. They're both Serbians, as you know. They're both Serbian internationals. One's the under 18, I think Milo is probably going to go straight to the under 21s if he keeps playing like this. With Petrovic, a full international, and I wonder whether Petrovic has been in Andoni's ear about Milo, or he's spoken about this kid, saying that this kid is looking good. Never know, do you? They're both, there's a link there, but just my opinion. As I say, I'm pretty sure. I think he's going to play Cook and Adams in midfield, and if Christie's fit, at some point, I think he'll even get on Christie. That heavy midfield, I think he'll go for that. But I think Eddie will be expecting Kluivert to play, which he's not going to start. I don't think he's going to start, but interesting. Where are we? I think after they lost, I think we'll beat them. I do. I think we're beaten 2-0. And we look back to last season, the game at Newcastle, and their fans said that Bournemouth were the best team they'd seen there all season. For those who don't remember that game, it was 4-1, and I think Ever got us a hat trick. Ever got us 3 penalties, didn't he?
Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah, it was stunning to watch, and I think we're on form. Bournemouth are in form at the moment. It's proven. The position we're in the table. We went and beat Spurs. Sorry, Dave. Went and beat Spurs. We're firing, mate, and I don't see any reason why we can't continue that. And we don't know who Newcastle have got injured, but it'll be interesting to see how they turn up. The other thing is, I think it would be great. I wish I was there. I've missed that game by a couple of days, but I'd love to have been there, because I'm sure, Matt, you could back me up on this. The Bournemouth fans will give Eddie a great welcome, will they?
Massively, of course they will. I mean, obviously, he built the foundations for what's there today. So, and obviously, there's, what else can you say about Eddie, really? I mean, apart from that, he's an icon of the club, isn't he? I mean, I remember seeing his debut against Hull City on my 10th birthday, Boxing Day '95. And he played right back that day. I'm pretty certain. I think Neil Young was out, and he played right back that day. And so, since watching him as a young kid, and then watching how his career has progressed as I've grown up and into management and things like that, he is an icon. He's an icon, and I'm sure at some point, like I say on Cherry Picking when that comes out, at some point when the time is right, the club will honour him in the right fashion. So, yeah, of course, and it's great. And when he comes back, it's always great to see him as well. I mean, like I've said before, probably Newcastle is the second result I look for, I suppose. Obviously, knowing the Bournemouth result for being at the game, but then when you look at the results, as you do at tea time, Newcastle always one of the ones I look out for because everyone wants to see Eddie do well.
Yeah,
don't they? Obviously,
Agreed.
we don't want to see him do well on Sunday for 90 minutes, but after that, we always hope he does well. So, yeah, he's one of our own. So, yeah, it's always lovely to see Eddie back.
You know what, mate? I totally agree with you. Like we've got the Steve Fletcher stand, we've got the Ted McDougall stand. They have to do something. And perhaps I think we were talking last week. Perhaps with the new extensions, they may put something in there for Eddie. They have to do something because without him, we wouldn't be talking like this today.
Yeah,
playing these teams,
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. It's 100%. I think when the time's right, they'll do something to honour him. Definitely.
Just one last thing before we leave, Eddie.
Yeah.
I've always had this weird feeling that this is my opinion. I've always had this weird feeling. I don't think we've seen the last of Eddie. I don't know whether it's going to be in my lifetime. I mean, he's still a young man. He'd still be about your age, wouldn't he? Would he be similar?
He's older than me, Paul.
Is he? I don't know. I've lost it. But
what is he? He's got to be
45?
46.
Oh, sorry. Well, you're not that age.
Yeah. He's a lot closer to 50, Paul, than I am.
Is oh, sorry about that, Matt. A genuine error. I thought I thought he was younger than that, but that's me.
He was so young when he started, wasn't he, Paul? So everybody thinks he's a lot younger than what he is.
And you know what? I was lucky when I last. Well, when was that? It must have been '99. I saw him play at Bournemouth in the back four. There, I can't remember what game it was at Dean Court. I can always remember seeing him play that once when I was visiting. However, as I say, I don't think we've seen the last of him. Whether he's eventually his time at Newcastle comes to an end, whether he'll be England boss, which I think we all, why wouldn't you want him as England boss? He'd be brilliant. Who knows? The football's a funny game. We don't know, do we?
No.
I've always thought that Bournemouth's his baby, and there's a lot of love there from Eddie for Bournemouth, mate. Still, for sure. Yeah. That's my thoughts on the game. I think 2-0, Matt. Just to summarise that.
Yeah, 2-0 as well. Okay, excellent. Well, we'll jump back into the chat.
Yeah.
Great show, Matt. I watched on the train this morning, so I'm assuming that's the Dean Court Social. Thank you, Darren, as always. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for that. And this is a good point from Paul. Last night, he did rest a couple of the players, and he brought them on. He brought on the new striker, the new German striker who scored against Wolves. He looks like he could be potentially a handful. So, Eddie has managed the game time. Whether that's affected their result last night, who knows? I don't think it would have made too much difference last night, to be honest. But, some of them haven't played too many minutes, so they should be raring to go Sunday. So it's going to make the game interesting.
Sorry, Matt. Yeah, it's a strange thing, isn't it? Because I know they beat us in the League Cup. I think it was 1-0 a Smithy own goal years back. But they've never beaten us in the Premier League, have they? I don't think they've ever beaten us in seven times.
Yeah, under Eddie, they haven't. No. I do remember a game. I do remember there's been a couple of defeats. But under Eddie, he hasn't managed to beat us. So
correct
in the league. So. Darren, I hope Petrovic has been practicing and fine-tuning his passing from the back and not overhitting them. Perhaps only 4 weeks of extra breakfast instead of 6. Yeah, let's hope so, Darren. Let's hope so. Paul, I think Murphy is the man to watch. hopefully Trafford keep him under control. Yeah, Murphy is one of those ones that I don't think gets a lot of credit sometimes, but he can make things tick for Newcastle. So that is a very good point there from Paul. All faith in Trafford. I'm sure he can keep him under control. There is a Milo Savage show, and it does mention that Petrovic talking to Milo, and that initiated the move. There you go.
Wissa, that's Wissa. W. Wissa. Wissa is out. They signed him from Brentford. Yeah.
And then was he caught behind or
Elphick?
Is he a cricket player? Don't do cricket, so I don't know. But
yeah.
Old out, I think.
Mm.
Malcolm and Paul. Malcolm and Paul and Darren seem to be talking about something there. Coach at 31 in
This
97.
is Eddie.
Coach at 31 in 97. No, not at 31 in 97. That's the wrong year. I never thought I would say this, but Andoni is a better manager than Eddie. I read some this week. Andoni is the best manager in the world. Yeah, I have read quite a lot of stuff about Andoni this week. And some are saying that tactically he's really up there. Better manager than Eddie. They're two different managers. They're two very different managers, and Eddie's got a legacy at Bournemouth, and Andoni's building his. So, interesting point, Paul. Interesting point. Lord Rodney Trotter. Good morning, all. Good morning to you. What's everyone's score prediction for Sunday against Newcastle? Yeah, excellent, Chris. Yeah, everyone pop it in the chat. If you want to see mine, you'll have to check out the Dean Court social. But Paul's given his a 2-0. So, yeah, guys, if you want to, pop it in the chat. I think he becomes England manager. He's the natural candidate. Totally agree. Malcolm saying good morning to Lord Rodney. Saying good morning to each other. Lovely when everyone says good morning to each other. Just seen there's an evening with Jeff Moyston next month. The Old Cherries chairman. I believe it's free entry, not sure. Oh, okay. I haven't seen that. Where's that to, Rodney? That would be interesting to hear. Is that at the club or is that somewhere else? If you know, do pop it in the comments. Malcolm, 3-1. So, yeah, I think I heard Malcolm make that prediction earlier on in the week. Yes, so there's something that you just want to touch on, Paul, isn't there? With regards to Tommy Elphick and Shaun Cooper, the assistants. Obviously, I'm sure maybe some people know this stuff already, maybe they don't. But it's an interesting little topic. So I'll hand over to you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I was thinking in the week about the show, and I did make a comment on there about the pairing of Shaun Cooper and Tommy Elphick. And obviously, just for a bit of history there, Tommy was an ex-Bournemouth captain, and he was involved in first-team coaching, and he is now focusing on defensive aspects of play. Played 142 times for Bournemouth. And Shaun Cooper, who also works with him, works on the free kicks, etc. He actually made 211 appearances as a defensive midfielder for Bournemouth, and it's just interesting because if we look at the history very briefly, we go back to Scott Parker when he left, and when Gary O'Neill was promoted to manager. I think it was season 22-23, and the knock-on effect was that Cooper and Elphick were presented into the first-team environment to help him, which they did really well. As you know, Gary kept us up that season with 4 games to go. He did lose all 4 of those, if you remember rightly, but he did a fair job. He kept Bournemouth up against the odds, and interesting because at that point, I think this is where Tommy and Shaun were cutting their teeth, because Tommy was quoted as saying this was a massive learning curve for us both. At training, Tommy would often take the back half of the group. So he would take all the defenders and try and sort them out. And I wouldn't think anything would have changed. I would have think he'd have been doing this with Andoni. My point being is that we're on a great run, and I think these two guys don't get a lot of mention. being in the background of the club there. But when Andoni arrived, they've teamed up with him, and they worked so well by advising him and supporting him with stuff around the club. And I think if we think back, especially Bournemouth supporters would know what I'm talking about. The original plan, which was just weird, went really wrong because he wanted to bring in his Spanish assistant manager from Rayo Vallecano, which was, I'm going to have to get this pronounced right, Inigo Perez, who was, as I say, Iriola's assistant at Rayo Vallecano, who ended up managing on his own Rayo Vallecano because he was denied a work permit. You remember that, when he got denied the work permit to work due to the new Brexit rules, which is ridiculous, isn't it, really? Well, I don't know whether anything's changed in that department. So it's really was just strange circumstances that brought Shaun Cooper and Tommy together with Andoni. It wasn't planned. It just fell into place. And they're now both classed as Premier League assistant managers. That's their title. And I thought it was just worth it. I don't think we hear too much about those guys, but every time, when I watch the game over here in Australia, they're always in there. They're right in his ear. They're looking at everything, doing the subs and stuff and advising Andoni. And I think they work together really great as a team, those three. Don't know if you've got a comment on that, Maddie, but I think they do a good job.
Yeah, obviously, when I look back on that, and obviously at the time, I think Andoni was quite disappointed that he couldn't bring his own man in. But I think when you come from the outside coming in, sometimes it is a good thing to have people there that know the club and know the players and this, that, and the other. And I think really, Tommy and Shaun, they know the club like the back of their hand, and they've been a real asset to Andoni. And I'm sure as a manager, you want to bring your own people in, you want to make your own mark on the team. But to have those people there that know the club. But look at what they've done as well. I mean, the set piece stuff that Shaun Cooper does is excellent. And that we've seen that last season with some of the moves, and they're just unbelievable. So, in terms of two coaches as well, they've both done really, really well. So,
and they would have known a proportion of that team, wouldn't they, from working under Gary O'Neill? So they could have, got in Andoni's ear about this. The one goal that stands out in my mind is the one that Christie scored at Dean Court from the corner when someone I can't remember the details, but somebody stepped over it, and I think it was against Arsenal. Yeah, when he hit that screamer in the top corner. I mean, they just didn't see it. I didn't see it coming. It was just perfectly executed. That's the sort of the Shaun Cooper. I mean, I think they nearly scored something against Brighton or the game before. There was some really, every corner's different with Bournemouth. Some get swung in, some get wasted, but really good stuff. I think they make a good team, the three of them, Matt.
Yeah, but, no, definitely. No, definitely. Let's just quickly jump back into the chat. So at Bournemouth University, so that is the evening that Lord Rodney Trotter was telling us about with Jeff at Bournemouth University. So thank you for that. Liam's in the house. Good to see you, Liam, as always. He's going with a 3-2 for the Newcastle game. Excellent. That sounds like it's going to be a cracker of a game if that's the scoreline. So, yeah. Cheers, Liam. Great to see you as always. Paul, I never thought that pairing... So this is on the point you've just been making, Paul. Paul saying, I never thought that pairing would ever work. I thought they were a cheap option. Just shows me how wrong I can be. They are fantasy...
No, I think it's fantastic.
That means fantastic, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Predictive text sometimes is a nightmare if you're using that. Malcolm and Ollie saw the other day when I made a predictive text error. I think really when you look at it, I mean, a lot of people could consider it as the cheap option at the time when it's happened. But obviously, like Paul says, look how it's worked out. It's fantastic. So Malcolm saying hi to Liam and enjoy the game on Sunday. They're 100% bleed unsung. Yeah, so they bleed cherries, bleed red and black. Right. Unsung heroes work hard. Yeah, definitely. Hi, Mal. Thank you. Will do.
Excuse me, Matt. That picture of Liam, it would be interesting to let us know. Is that at Dean Court, Liam? Has that photo been taken at Dean Court?
That's just at the dugout there. So let us know, Liam. Liam must have. I've had a tour of the ground. I've seen all the behind the scenes.
Right.
Been in the press room and all that. It's really, really interesting. I had the opportunity to do that about probably 2018. I think it was the opportunity to do it, and it was good. So I'm sure Liam's been on a similar trip to that. But let us know, Liam. Let us know. Darren, Christie's goal was from corner set piece. Yeah, it was. And Darren's going with 3-1 and a red card. Who's the red card going to, Darren? Which side? But yeah, excellent. Yeah, thank you guys for that in the chat. Thank you to everyone that's watching. And thank you to everybody that smashed the likes. We're on 26 likes. So thank you for that. And also, if you haven't, do give the channel a subscribe. It's absolutely free to do so. Just give us a sub. Hit the notification bell, and anything we do on the channel you will be notified with straight away. Just before we jump on to the last segment, before we wrap up, Liam's getting a response here from Malcolm. I'm away tomorrow. We'll miss the game, but should be back for the Leeds match. Yes, Malcolm is going on a little holiday as well. So, yeah.
Napoli. Not sure.
Okay. Cheers, Darren. I remember Carl Fletcher, one of my favourite players. Yeah, Carl Fletcher was a great player. Come through the youth ranks. Yeah, good midfielder. You could see why he went on and had a fairly decent career at the top level as well. West Ham and at international level, played in a cup final. And again is one of those back at the club now. So he did go into management somewhere. He did have a Leighton Orient. He had a short spell at and Plymouth. He was manager for.
Right. I think he did all right at Plymouth. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he had a fairly decent spell at Plymouth. Yeah, I think he retired a little bit early to take the role. He had a good stint at Plymouth, from what I can remember, and he had a short spell at Leighton Orient, which wasn't so good, I don't think, from memory. But just going to touch on last couple of things before we do wrap up, guys, because Paul's got a very busy day ahead of him. He's obviously planning his holiday. So you just want to touch on Semenyo, Paul. Obviously, he's won Goal of the Month with the club and Player of the Month with the club, and deservedly so. He's had a fantastic month. Started really, really strong. Let's hope that continues for a long time to come for us, because, he is such a vital player, isn't he?
Oh, unbelievable. The form this guy's in at the moment, I mean, he could mean the big difference on Sunday as well. That could be the send-off. Someone takes him out somewhere because they can't hold him. There's not many players can hold that bloke. People bounce off him, don't they? I saw last season, players literally going in to take him out, and they just bounce back off of him. Incredible player. But he, as you say, Matt, he was voted, quite rightly, 100% Player of the Month for Bournemouth, and also he won the Goal of the Month for Bournemouth. And what a goal! I mean, you look back at that goal, and we know the one we're talking about, where he got it in his own half and went through the whole Liverpool team. Went round Van Dijk and just slammed it in the corner. Such a powerful shot. That, for me, says everything about the player. Absolutely brilliant. And we're so lucky to have him. And those people that are going to watch him, just enjoy him, because, he's our number one striker at the moment. That's for sure. As I said in the week, I think any team would buy him if they had the opportunity. Any team would take him. But he seems to be very loyal, which makes a change, doesn't it? Signed that long contract, happy to stay, pledging his time to Bournemouth, and I think we want to enjoy him. I love watching him, but in my opinion, on Semenyo, fantastic player.
Yeah, deserves his awards there massively. We're just going to jump back into the chat then, Paul. So Semenyo is the Sky Sports Fantasy League. Paul, yeah, he's top on the points. Let's go back. Liam, yeah, that was at the dugout. Had a tour around the ground a couple of years ago for my birthday. Yeah, lovely, Liam. It's great, isn't it? I've done it. It's fantastic to see all the stuff behind the scenes. So yeah, no, that's great. I'm sure you had a fantastic day, mate. Lord Rodney Trotter, Carl Fletcher, Wade Elliott, and if James Hayter, and that hat trick. Yes, Wade Elliott, great player, great buy as well. I think it cost us like minimal money. Was it like $3,000 or $5,000 or something from Bashley? And another player that had a great career, and of course James Hayter. Everyone will remember that hat trick. I've actually got a signed poster somewhere. It's my memorabilia of that hat trick. So yeah, no, great players, great names. Always love looking back at the old names because it was, it brings back some really good memories.
You know what? That hat trick still stands today. I don't think anybody. How can that be beaten? I don't think anybody's ever going to beat that, are they?
Well, if someone does, they've got to be super quick. But yeah, it looks like it's going to stand for probably all of our lifetimes anyway.
Yeah. As is Ted's 9 goals in the
there you
in
go.
The league. You go. We've got a lot of records at the club. 6 in the FA Cup he scored, Ted as well. Yeah. So,
9 was it? 9 and 12.
He got 9. Yeah, he got 9 in the FA Cup, and he has scored 6 before in another game. Whether or not that was the league, he did score 6. I'm sure of it.
You'll know better than me because you were there.
49 goals one season he scored for me. 49. Wow. I mean, what would you do if somebody started scoring 49 goals? What would he be worth today in the Premier League? Unbelievable.
49 goals today in the Premier League. Well, is that a feat that Haaland could ever reach? I don't know. 49 goals is a big ask. Ollie's in the house. Thank you, Ollie, for joining us. Good show, chaps. Thank you, mate. And thank you to you for all your hard work that you do on Cherry AMs with Malcolm and that this week. It's been some good shows. I haven't managed to catch them all, but Ollie always does a good show on here. So thanks for jumping in, Ollie. Great to have your support, mate. Lord Rodney Trotter. Carl Fletcher was our best player every game I saw as a kid. Giant on the pitch. Yeah, great player. Good captain as well.
Yeah. Was he a captain? He was captain.
He was captain for a bit. Yeah, he was captain for a bit. Yeah. Great show, Matt and Paul. Thank you, Liam, as always. Great to have your support. Semenyo is top of Sky Sports Fantasy League. We just touched on that. I have a man crush on Semenyo, so that's why. Great. Lord Rodney Trotter, you'd have to say he's our best ever player, really. Okay, interesting one. Darren Hurst, great show again, Matt and Paul. So as I said at the start of the show, obviously this is Paul's last show with me on a Friday for the next 5 weeks. He's going on a little adventure, which, as Nick said at the start of the chat, does include the Bournemouth game against Fulham on the Friday night. But Paul, you're coming back to the UK. Do you want to just share a little bit on your up-and-coming adventure?
I will. Well, I fly out Monday. But it's ironic because you'd think coming to the UK I'll be able to watch a lot of football, but I'm actually seeing less than I would if I stayed in Australia because I'm going to miss the Newcastle game because I'll be travelling. The Leeds game, I don't think you guys show the 3:00 kickoffs over there, so I'm going to miss that. The one game I'm going to go to is the Fulham game, which I had all my holiday planned for the Saturday, and then they moved it to the Friday. Thank you, Sky TV, whoever was involved in that. That's a very, very nice gesture. Messed everything up, but I'm there. I'll definitely be at that game. And then that's it, because you've got another international break coming up, which we all look forward to, Matt, don't we? We love our international breaks, don't we?
I couldn't think of anything better, Paul. I just need that little rest from all these games. Yeah, as you can probably tell from the sarcasm there in my voice. Yeah, it's nothing worse, is it, than the season breaking for international? But it's just the way it is. It will always happen, won't it? But yeah, so
So,
you're here for 5 weeks. Is that right?
well, actually, it's just over 4, I think. But it's weird with the time differences. I mean, I almost get home before I leave, but it's just ridiculous. But it gets everybody confused. But as I say, it's ironic. I'm actually going to see less football going over there than I would if I stayed at home. But the other thing I'm going to do, I'm going up to Liverpool, so I might have a quick look round Anfield if I get time, and have a look at Everton's new stadium, which will be interesting. I believe they're about a mile apart or something. You've got to walk through the park or something to get from one to the other. Have you ever been to Anfield, Manny?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah. Definitely go. It's fantastic. It's a great stadium. So yeah, no, definitely get yourself there. Obviously, Goodison's across the park, Goodison Park, the Goodison
Is it
Stadium.
Stanley
Stanley
Park?
Park, I think it's called.
Something like that.
Rightly. Yeah, you go across there and you can see each stadium from each side.
Yeah.
But the new Everton Stadium's a little bit further out from memory. But yeah, no, it sounds exciting, Paul. So I'm going to do. Oh, sorry, after you.
No, I'll just finish up. If there's any Beatles fans out there, I'm doing something I've often wanted to do. I'm going to go to the Cavern and I'm going to go to Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane and just immerse myself in a lot of Beatles history. So looking forward to that. John Lennon's house and stuff, Paul McCartney's house and that. But that's me. I love that sort of music. I love all music, but that's if you're British, if you're English, mate, you can't. You're brought up on it, aren't you?
Definitely.
Love it. So I'm looking forward to that. Going on the Magical Mystery Tour bus, 2 hours on there, and I'll love to give you a little report on it when I come back, mate. I'll be back on the show, I hope, 5 or 6 weeks, and it's been a pleasure talking to everybody in the chat. And as Matt says, hit that like button, guys, and thank you, Matt. I've really enjoyed my time.
Yeah, no, it's been excellent, Paul, and I'm going to have to find myself a couple of new friends over the next few weeks, but hopefully, Craig and Ollie and Malcolm can all sort of rotate between themselves and fill in for you until you come back. But yeah, no, it's always been great to do these shows with you, Paul. Obviously, we're going to meet up when you come over, which would be nice. We're going to go down to the stadium and have a look and stuff like that, aren't we? So it's going to be good. No, I look very forward to doing that with you.
You know what? I'm going to need shock therapy when I go around Dean Court, mate, because I haven't been there for 24 and a half years. So it's just going to, from my memories of what it was, going back to whenever that was, 99, will just blow me away. But it's so interesting. Yeah,
no, definitely, and obviously, look forward to hearing about everything as well when you come back. But thank you, guys. We're going to wrap up there today. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, Cherry Picking will be out very soon. The Dean Court Social, the match preview show for this coming weekend's game, is already out. Do stay tuned to the channel. There's going to be some news that comes out on Monday. But I remain tight-lipped on that. But there will be some news coming out on Monday. So yeah, do stay tuned. So if you haven't hit that notification bell, do please hit it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do give us a sub. And yeah, thank you today for all the likes. We've had 28 likes, so that I can see. So thank you guys for all the likes. Thank you guys for all the interaction in the chat. And yes, guys. So myself and Paul. I'll see you next week, guys. Paul will see you in a few weeks.
Au revoir. You can't even give us a clue on Monday, Matt, because I'm going to tune in when I'm over there to watch Cherry, and you can't even give us a clue. No. You're not allowed to. Okay, fair enough. We've got to watch. Okay.
Nothing. So just quickly jump back into the chat just before we finish up. There's a few in here. Great show again, Matt and Paul. Thank you, Darren. Great show, lads. Thank you, Paul. Malcolm, before I forget, have a great trip to Blighty Pool and safe travels. 17 plus hour flight for your Paul, is it?
No, 22. I think it's longer. I've got a stopover. Yeah, I've got a stopover at Singapore on the way. It's a long way, mate. As I say, it's weird. The timing is weird when you do, you know. But
a lot of
I go back. Sorry, I go back in time, Matt. It's the only way you can go back in time.
But at least you'll be a bit younger when you get here.
I was thinking that. Yeah, I might look younger. Yeah. Oh, there you go, Vanessa. Hi, Ness.
Yeah,
Thanks,
so Vanessa is
looking forward to
seeing Paul. Paul sounds a great trip, Paul. Yeah, it sounds like it. And obviously, I'm a big music fan, as Paul well knows. So I'll be really looking forward to hearing about the Beatles stuff. David DaCosta, enjoy your trip, Paul. So Craig's in Anfield wasn't good when we were there. Yeah, enough said. And big ups from Lord Rodney Trotter. Okay, guys. So we will finish off now. So thank you from myself and thank you from Paul, and we'll see you on the next one. Up the cherries.
Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, Paul.
Cheers.
TalkSport Fan Network.
The ultimate on-demand destination for the UK's best fan-led football podcasts.
Want authentic supporter insight on all things Bournemouth? Follow Up the Cherries in all departments on the TalkSport Fan Network.
Club-dedicated content created by the fans, for the fans.
Search TalkSport Fan Network.
I should be like you, Mel.